Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? We're gonna get things started here in just a second. Everything looks good so far on my end. Hope it's all good for you guys. Jabari, welcome.
Yo, what's up?
Back again, 2 sets tonight. Going to be a lot of fun, actually. To put up the correct Civ draft, that might help. Uh, Set number one, FreakinAndy versus Chanchanvn. Going to be very interesting. Should be a lot of fun.
Yep, FreakinAndy, one of the big favorites. I know him a little better than most players in this tournament, having gotten knocked out by him in round two. A very fun home map picks here: Jungle Nomad and Black Jungle. And Jungle Arabia. We got the Jungle Pack right here, man.
Yeah, indeed. Should be a lot of fun. Should be interesting. Lots of things to look forward to. FreakinAndy will have Mongols, Spanish, Poles, and Celts. And then Chanchanvn with Berbers, Britons, Mayans, and Lithuanians. Should be action-filled set between these two.
Yep. Looks like Chanchanvn favors the Archer Civs a bit, but they both have a pretty good mix in there. I bet he can anticipate the Mongols pick from FreakinAndy on game one. But Chanchanvn, a pretty heavy underdog. He's going to have his hands full, man. I'm sure he's hoping to get a game win. But the fact that he's here participating, I'm sure he's got dreams of taking down the set, too.
Indeed, indeed. And we're going to dive in right now. FreakinAndy will be with the Poles, actually, here on Game 1, Arabia, against the Britons here with Chanchanvn. Should be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, very interesting switch up going for the Poles here. Not a hot Arabia pick whatsoever. I kind of don't understand it for Arabia. Maybe he's just looking to have some fun. I think that the Civ is incredibly powerful just in absolute terms. Their cavalry play, unique unit, all that is excellent. But we're talking about stuff that only comes into play once you get a castle out. As far as feudal age economy and military bonuses goes, Poles are definitely not a high tier pick.
Yeah, makes it interesting. I like it. Different civs, different places. Let's see what's going to happen here, though, as Britons are top tier civilization on many maps. Arabia maybe favored for some people. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them on Arabia, but mostly due to the fact that I like mobility. Poles will have that mobility. It will be interesting. Kind of curious what Britons can do against the Poles here, though. With the cheap cavalry, you have to imagine that the numbers will build quite easily if knights are what we see. And it will be difficult to outmass and survive with the Briton Arbalest mass, perhaps. But we'll have to wait and see.
As Britons, I think that you have a clear advantage before castles come up and that unique tech comes in, so that is your window. If FreakinAndy is able to keep the game competitive long enough to get a castle and the unique tech, I think that will be lights out for sure. Just the cavalry numbers will be overwhelming, as FreakinAndy's learned something here. He gets the Vil pick, but his own monkey goes down. He's probably happy with that exchange, but at the same time, Chanchanvn is not getting nothing out of this. Taking out the opponent's monkey is quite a win.
Yeah, and there is still food into the TC, so Chanchanvn shouldn't have any AOTC time just taking another pig here when he normally would have been taking the boar. Nonetheless, it is Vil down. Does lose the scout for FreakinAndy, and let's go ahead and see what all he has scouted, which is not a lot. He sees a gold and a stone, a few wood lines for himself, has no idea his other two golds are on this side, and he did not collect 2 of his sheep. So it could be a bit of a rough beginning here for him.
His gen is actually exceptional for Poles, man. That gold doesn't really matter so much. Poles can just take the stone, and his stone and his wood are maximally safe. I think FreakinAndy's actually going to have a very easy time getting up to a castle. And given his level, man, he probably could win without even ever building a castle. If he does get there, however, though, it will just be overwhelming force.
Yeah, we'll have to see what is going to happen here. Both players still getting their res brought in. The sheep will actually go to Chanchanvn that were supposed to be FreakinAndy's. That will give him an extra couple hundred food, which is always nice. What's this Vil doing? Just looking for the boar? Perhaps he did not see the boar. Yeah, he was trying to find his boar. Unfortunately, hadn't found it yet. So we'll be in there and be alright.
Yep, the boars spawn at a slightly larger range than they do in the ranked pool, so he was probably assuming the boar must have been in like the last unexplored spot. Actually, getting a little lucky to find it with the Vil. It could have been kind of anywhere still.
Yes, indeed. Barracks will be coming down for FreakinAndy, so he's probably going to look to go for some sort of a early drush or man-at-arms play, I would imagine. Chanchanvn, though, coming in with the Vil. Looks like he'll get pushed away.
FreakinAndy is loomed. I think the monkey would lose a fight at this point. So now it really is just a pure scout. Basically like a slightly pumped up militia. Doesn't threaten Vils on its own. As it takes some damage, this monkey is done.
Yep, onto stone. FreakinAndy will go. So he's sending 4 Vils. No militia queued just yet. Lacking some food for that if he was planning on doing it. There they come, though. So maybe man-at-arms towers, potentially? But he could just be going to stone, like you said, for the gold consumption.
Yeah. The stone is both for gold, for a future castle, for defensive towers if you need it, for selling if you need it. Honestly, the get gold from mining stone bonus is a tremendous eco bonus. I guess I was like leaving that out of my calculation when I was assessing polls to be a poor early game eco civ.
Yeah, we will have a bunch of Vils coming forward, though. 5 Vils in total. Will be interesting to see where these end up. There will be militia here for Chanchanvn. We'll have 3 of them out and about, so he will likely have an idea what is coming his way. Woodlines are going to be the enemy for Chanchanvn right now, though. He only has 1 even near him at this point. He's trying to wall up this side. See where the tower comes up, if it comes up. It's like these are just going to pass right now, though.
Yep. Though they are spotted, the militia, they're in the right place at the right time. He has the potential to deny this. He'll also be feudal himself if he wants to counter tower.
Yeah, tower will come up on the wood line. This Vil over here is going to be in the worst, pretty bad spot. Quick walls come down, though, so all things considered, archery range will go up. This tower isn't terrible. We'll block a stone and probably hit some of these miners, or not miners, lumberjacks. But all things considered, could have been worse.
The Vils are still forward, man. This tower can be the protection for a second tower quite easily. I like this a lot as a first tower.
Yep, Man-at-Arms going to be hitting the walls here, and FreakinAndy is just microing back and forth between those. House over here for FreakinAndy, likely another tower coming up on this wood line.
Yep, and the first tower's walled in. It's probably going to stand until Castle Age. This is going to deny Chanchanvn all of his wood. I think Chanchanvn's toast, man. His next best wood line is like so far away that he's going to have to do the thing where you just like run halfway across the map and hope it doesn't get found.
Yeah, he's actually got a counter tower coming down here. Will come down before the tower here for FreakinAndy, but I don't think this tower gets denied. Maybe it does. It's going to be close.
I think FreakinAndy placed this perfectly. Without fletching, those Vils are out of range, man. So this tower is definitely achieving quite a bit. I mean, these lumberjacks can chop like 5 or 6 more trees before they're being ranged by it.
Yeah, all things considered, neither player has fletching right now either. Man-at-Arms still over here harassing. Looks like Chanchanvn has elected he's going to head forward. But super tiny walls here for FreakinAndy. He'll drop a blacksmith himself. And all things considered, he's in a very good position at home. and he is pressuring his opponent.
Yep, I mean, he's inflicting great damage while taking none himself. The Eco KD is still even, and the worker efficiency is comparable. And Chanchanvn has the bigger army, so on paper, Chanchanvn is winning, but Chanchanvn's wood situation, the continued presence of these forward vills, I don't know, man. Chanchanvn, if he can do some damage with his forward army, he might have a lead.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to do damage here, though, unless there's a hole somewhere that we're not seeing. This is very compact base here. Only place opening is near the TC. Towers are forward. They do have fletching now as compared to Chanchanvn, who does not. Going to be a really rough spot with the wood income.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think these high-level players, they see denying resources as a win condition. This wood is being denied. Like, Chanchanvn is not going to be able to compete with FreakinAndy, who has free free wood access. So Chanchanvn needs a solution for this wood, man. He just can't let it be the way it is.
Yeah, these walls will come up behind this forever as well. So it's going to be very difficult to get any damage done. Tower actually killing a archer here, as this is not great. But Chanchanvn's still alive. He could run to another wood line here. Wouldn't be too crazy at this point in the game. Could get it done. Pressure at home, really not doing much. Another full work coming down here for FreakinAndy. So he will drop some more farms. His food economy will start to get up there very quickly. And it's going to be hard to continue production here, as Chanchanvn is continually repairing this castle, as I believe it's actually slightly downhill. And fletching is just now coming in for Chanchanvn, whilst FreakinAndy has had it for quite some time.
Yeah, I think this fletching actually will deny repairs and allow Chanchanvn to take back his wood line. It might be just what he needed.
Yep, and here, FreakinAndy trying to do a little bit of a cleanup here. Loses an archer, takes an archer. Man-at-Arms aren't attacking, though. Chanchanvn busy dealing with everything at home, it looks like.
Yeah, probably microing the tower war. I mean, truthfully, his offensive was totally stalled. I think that he might have had some opportunities to get in by battering the palisades with the men-at-arms, with the archers in position. But he is really needing to micro both fronts here, so I won't blame him at all for being a little negligent with his micro at the front.
Yeah, and this one tower being walled in has made a huge difference here. Makes it so hard to kill that at this age. And yeah, here is the lumber camp coming up, as some vills actually have chopped their wood, and it's very inefficient now. But it will be getting better for him here before long.
That's a pretty costly economic micro mistake. It also potentially leaves a trail of vills, making it more likely that FreakinAndy will discover this sneak lumber.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very costly with the time that he needs to get these res in as well. Archer numbers are good for Chanchanvn. He has constantly had the larger military, it feels like. And just this tower situation is what's really hurting him here.
Yep, I mean, I think it's definitely at the phase where they need to both start looking to Castle Age. FreakinAndy's going to probably click up relatively soon. I guess he'll probably open Knights. And Chanchanvn should have good enough archer numbers and be close enough behind to be able to compete. I don't know, though, man. Chanchanvn, no food in the bank, while FreakinAndy's already clicked up. I guess Chanchanvn has a bunch of vills that he could unqueue, but I do worry that Chanchanvn is going to get caught off guard, being still deep in the feudal age when FreakinAndy starts pumping out those Castle Age units.
Yeah, and he's going to have to get a house down. He's housed right now. Chanchanvn, also no market behind this at the moment, so if he needs to sell res to get, or buy res at that point to get up, he does not have the building at the moment, which can be a little bit rough. Some archers going to get in on the gold here. Villagers will actually fight for now, but this is some good idling here. See if that stays in place. And is it Poles that regen health? Or is that Bohemians? I think it's Poles, is it not?
It is Poles, yeah.
Yeah, so all of that health just gone off those vills, and they'll just be full health next time around, which is always rough. One of them does go down, though, so there's some good value here. Another vill.
Oh, God. They're
caught.
getting trapped. Oh, no. Do they have the door open? Okay, it looks like these archers might still be able to sneak out. This is everything for Chanchanvn. Chanchanvn's win condition is to have a very large group of well-microed archers with Brit. Having his numbers dwindled hurts badly, man. Like, the 3 or 4 archers he just lost. I mean, when they become crossbows, like, the difference 4 units makes cannot be overstated.
Yep, only one stable here thus far. Or is there 2? I only see 1. Yep, just 1. So, bloodlines, and then it looks like a knight queued somewhere. Does he have another stable somewhere? Oh, he's coming for a very forward castle. Alright. He already has it forward position with the knight, or the stable, that's where it is. And there's nothing that can be done to deny this castle. He does not have the archer mass here. Villagers will die here. This knight will soak up damage for a while with bloodlines and +1. There's only 1 vill in the castle, but here comes the rest. Skirm's coming behind this as well.
Why isn't Chanchanvn clicking up? What's going on?
He's panicking. Too many things to pay attention to right here. He's going to try to deny the castle, seeing as it's only 1 villager, but he doesn't see these other villas coming forward.
Yeah. Chanchanvn must think he clicked up. This is just too much. He's got a bunch of vills idled. He's definitely contemplating the GG and should call him momentarily, man.
Yeah, he does click up here, but the GG will come in. Andy will take game number 1 here. And it was a rough tower war that really hurt him, with this Woodlines map being really bad for him for wood here. Hurting him out pretty bad in the end.
Chanchanvn did look solid though, man. Like, he had essentially no idle TC, took essentially no losses, built up an army of like the correct units. I mean, I guess we're at the perhaps we're at the level of play where like having a totally clean build and minimizing the damage that you take is not enough whatsoever, though. I guess FreakinAndy just out-strategized him there.
Yeah, maybe. But GG's, no worries. We'll have to go to game 2 here, which will be on Chanchanvn's home map, which will actually be Jungle Nomad.
Yep.
Poles with the win over Britain's Jungle Nomad here. Civs could go pretty much any pick for either player at this point, I feel like. All of these Civs could be good on Land Nomad.
I agree. For FreakinAndy, I prefer the Spanish, but Mongols are also viable. Yeah, these civs are all highly viable. I won't venture to guess.
Going to be interesting for sure. We'll load into game number 2 here, which will be on Jungle Nomad.
Yep, cool. And I've been saying that Arena is the map to go for if you need an upset. But I was thinking the Jungle Nomad might actually have the most upset potential with its insane RNG, as Chanchanvn has himself a sweet start. Oh, baby. Dude. So many sheep, so many deer, so many boars, so much gold, so much stone, excellent wall ability. Chanchanvn with the God Gen right here.
Yeah, things are looking very nice for him on this map. Honestly, a TC anywhere near all of this food would be massive. He is getting the lumberjacks working much faster than Andy here, who has apparently not found a wood line. Finds it now, but yeah, he had not really seen one, but this one here didn't want to be there, I guess. Andy won't have a bad position on the map either, but it will be much more open. And all of the mineral res will be in this corner back here.
Yeah, that corner is mega safe, however. Andy's gen isn't that bad. I guess if you actually compare their relative luck with the maps here, they're on about even footing. Chanchanvn's, I think, is a bit more desirable, but FreakinAndy with that super easy wall off in the corner has a good thing going, too.
Yeah, for sure. And with Spanish being backed into a corner, not necessarily a position you're going to mind all that much, given the fact that you will have Stone back here.
Yep. If it does come unique unit to unique unit, though, Chanchanvn's Camel Archers do technically counter the conks, so I don't think like full conquistador play will be the move, but I definitely expect a few to make an appearance as they're just such high-powered raiding units, and they're so effective in such low numbers with no upgrades.
Yep, will definitely be interesting to see how and where these players put their town centers. I think it won't be too much of a surprise to see Chanchanvn barely move too far to put his. I think somewhere in between this stone, gold, and this wood here would be ideal. But
I think he might go for the hill, dude.
yeah, he does.
The hill, man, the TC damage output and reduced damage it takes, plus you get the deer patch, plus he's on top of the boars, so they're 1000% secure, equidistant from the golds and the stone. I dig that placement a lot.
Yeah, Andy will be moving. See where he ends up heading to. Just this wood line, potentially just to be closer to the food as well, it seems.
Yep, he's creating a nice choke for himself there. Man, this map is so naturally walled. FreakinAndy is just clogging up the central passage there with that TC.
Yeah, the cliff generations have definitely helped out with walls on this one.
Yep. I kind of understand why they stopped using cliffs, like the way that they're asymmetrical with regards to like the top versus bottom, like whichever player is closer to the north, I guess, is more likely to have down cliff fights.
Yeah, I think they should bring back the cliffs, but obviously change them for a little bit of a different position. You know what I mean? Like maybe smaller cliffs, not as big of damage or something. I don't know exactly, but I do miss having those in the game more frequently.
Yeah, they look really cool if you ask me.
Yeah, they add something to the map too, I think.
Mm-hmm. And when you have like a castle on the cliff, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, players do play for that medieval fantasy feel of it still, you know?
For sure, for sure. Andrew, yeah, there's plenty of boar. They're actually like javelinas and boar here somewhere, so when I click them, it doesn't select all of them, but both players having 4 nearby, as Andy has already brought one in. Spanish versus Berbers, though, it's going to be interesting to see, especially if we get to late game, which I feel like almost every jungle nomad we've casted thus far has gone into the late game.
Yeah, players are able to turtle and drag it out if they want to. I mean, a lot of these late games are just like someone trying to hang on and failing. You could argue the game is determined long before it. But in this case, I think both players will make it there. Chanchanvn is not that greatly outmatched. And yeah, I'm trying to just like assess the map for the critical regions. And it seems like this bottom southern corner kind of has everything. And Chanchanvn is more naturally suited to take it. I think FreakinAndy's going to have, he's going to have to be aggressive here and really expand, because if this does come out to like a long slog, FreakinAndy basically has 2 small safe gold piles. And Chanchanvn has like 4 or 5 maybe, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 just here on the screen that I'm looking at right here, and there's 3 stones here. Could be really big. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So I believe we're probably going to see some interesting Castle Age play here. I don't think we'll see Feudal Age at all, really, except for a short 2.5-3 minutes to get the buildings down and go up, especially as both players have all of this food at their access right now.
It's definitely going to be a boom fest, man. Probably a boom fest with a few defensive castles and some unique units to spar during Castle Age. And I think we're going to see a max pop post-imp fight here, dude. I think this might be a long one. And if Chanchanvn somehow takes it, Black Forest, this is potentially going to be a very long set.
There is always that potential, but that's all fine and dandy. Bringing in double boars here. Beautiful thing. We'll have all that food under the town center. On the other side, boars coming in. Hunt being taken. Lots of food right under the town center. No need to build the mill here. And actually, this ville that went north is bringing back a bunch of sheep here as well.
Yep. Very nice as Chanchanvn kind of officially walls up his half of the map. It looks like both players are basically walling up a third of the map, with the middle third potentially being left as the no man's land.
Yep. And looks like FreakinAndy will send a ville forward. He'll probably run into these walls and know his opponent's over here somewhere. All things considered,
I will call it now, man. FreakinAndy's going to outpost some stuff up. I've noticed he has a taste for the outpost. And this map lends itself very well to outposts.
Yeah, I think vision in and on this map is going to be really important. We'll see what happens. Obviously, it's early. Still waiting to see how things progress. But both players looking fairly good at the moment. And honestly, the TC idle time's pretty low. Things are looking pretty close.
Yep. But by being closer to the top of the map, FreakinAndy, I think, is going to have some insanely good castle placement opportunities. Like, if he just places his castles kissing the cliffs, it provides them so much protection, increases their damage output. Whereas Chanchanvn, he outright cannot do the cliffs play. He's literally at the base of all cliffs.
Yeah, indeed. We'll see what happens here. Villager did come all the way over here to build a wall, potentially, or he's maybe just trying to quick wall this. Actually tried to quick wall in a villager. It's always lovely, but this shouldn't happen. He shouldn't be able to get anything up here. Vil will be retreating. Walls going up here at home for Chanchanvn, actually a little bit far from home, but gonna wall it up anyways.
Yeah, and Chanchanvn's click up is shockingly fast, especially given his full wall. I am genuinely confused. Perhaps he's just going for a sick, fast castle. That seems like the most likely thing. But with 20 Vils up, man, I don't think he's going to be able to smoothly transition to 3 TC boom or anything like that.
Berbers, an open map. Wouldn't be too surprised to see like a 1 TC, 3 stable play.
You're calling this an open map, bro, but this shit is full wall, dude. That would shock me to see 1 TC, 3 stable.
I think we're going to see it, though. Why else go up like this? He's looking all around. He doesn't see a single wall. He sees a house. He sees all of his walls. Has a large piece of the map. We'll see. We'll see. But up to the next stage, we'll drop a blacksmith forward and a mill.
Yep. A farm mill. I like it. He needs the mill for the market. Yeah, okay. It seems he actually forgot that. Yeah. As it's definitely FC, but FC into what?
Time will tell. Forward blacksmith strategy, gotta love those. Gonna have one Vil over here, which can probably be very sneaky and could post up some buildings here if it survives.
But it is honestly the fact that he walls to me pretty clearly indicates that he does not intend to go fast military early. Like, the walls would be redundant if he's planning to flood the map with knights. I think this is just going to be an attempt at some really lean FC into boom. As, yeah, FreakinAndy's showing why players tend to go up with a bit more pop. In the end, FreakinAndy clicked up to feudal so much later, but it looks like their castle clicks will be similar.
Yep, walled in the Vil here even. So that will be annoying, but will be fine. Just one Vil, not the end of the world. We do have the market now for Chanchanvn. He's missing a little bit of gold. He'll get that and click up. Looks like we're going to see a castle for our Berber player as well.
Yep. Makes sense. I mean, he is accurately predicting conquistadors. A few camel archers counters that very nicely. The castle also is just insane protection for your economy. You want the castle later for trebs and everything as well. I dig it. But FreakinAndy, man, with the better fast castle, in my opinion, I think is just going to outboom the Berbers here, man. Let's see, dude. I feel like this is going to come down to post-imp, and FreakinAndy is just going to jump the starting gun a bit on the fight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here with castle positions as well. Obviously, it will be very important to see where those go. Interesting that Andy actually walled out this res here. Let's see what he has seen over here. He has seen the hole, but I guess doesn't realize that there's a giant wood line there. Unfortunate for him.
I think he tossed those walls up quickly when he saw the fast feudal age, man. He probably sensed that it was around a 20 pop click up. Honestly, it's a bizarre build from Chanchanvn. Yeah.
It is indeed fletching in already here for Chanchanvn. 23 pop to 28 pop. It's not going to be enough stone for a castle right away. Maybe if he force drops off all this, he'll have enough. I imagine this will just be a defensive castle, though, as I'm guessing he assumes his opponent will be up in relatively the same time.
There's a really nice hill smack in the center of the map, which I'm sure FreakinAndy's going to go for, if not right up against the cliffs. This is going to be a castle-to-castle thing, and it looks like the Spanish players are going to have more vills in position. FreakinAndy can place this castle wherever he wants. I think he's just going to be touching the hyper-aggressive cliff.
Yeah, Chanchanvn doesn't have the stone either.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is undeniable. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is G to the G, bro. Chanchanvn, if his vills were on the other side of this, they could be walled in. Chanchanvn's castle's properly denied here.
Yeah,
walling
it's not
these in
going
is
to be
just
pretty.
as bad. Oh, boy. Maybe if he can get a couple vills around to the opposite side, they'll be out of range. Yep. He's trying to move them around.
There's a hole.
Disaster piece for Chanchanvn.
Yeah, he moves them around. So.
Yeah, he's got to get a nice quick wall here. Looks like he's actually going to get it up somehow.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Fletching plus the hill, but there will be an immediate siege workshop here. Conquistador is on the way out already as well. You walked through my wall. Yeah, there's a hole there, unfortunately, a one tile gap for him, or it would have definitely been GG. FreakinAndy gonna try to take the gold right here. Castle up. Vills hopped out on the other side. Not gonna be able to do much over there. We'll relocate.
Yeah, in the end, this actually isn't bad at all for Chanchanvn. He's got the hill bonus here. He's gonna have a hard time with these rams, though, man. What he needs is like his own siege workshop behind. There's just like no way he can vill fight the rams underneath the castle. I feel like FreakinAndy is gonna be able to ram this down.
Yeah, it's not ideal, and it's not as if there's anywhere to run here either. FreakinAndy's even going to try to wall up behind this to prevent the camel archers that are created from getting to his conquistadors that are over here. If the conks do get in, there's a second TC going up. Most of this will be safe, economically speaking. These rams are starting to do good work, though, against this castle that's just being repaired as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't want to go petards against that. You really need your own siege workshop for mangonels. There's nothing else I can think of which would save the castle. And Chanchanvn kind of does still have the time to slam the siege workshop and queue the mangonels if he wants to save his castle. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very rough position for sure. Monk here gets a unit to be deleted and then converts one that gets a kill. This monk is doing great work here. Petard is on its way out. So is he petarding the rams?
Rams. that kind of doesn't work though, man. The Rams, they trade cost effectively. They still do so much damage output. Petards don't even one-shot them.
Yeah, and this castle will be going down here. These villagers are all stranded. They are, so what, 3 cav archers, 5 cav archers back here, it looks like, then. Not going to be able to do enough here. He's still trying to survive this, but ultimately it gets more and more difficult.
Yep, so Chanchanvn, if he surrenders his castle and loses these vills, he's really in trouble, man. The enemy castle's covering his base. I mean, camel archers would have been good, but they are no more. He's keeping this castle up for so long with all these repairs, but it seems like it's absolutely doomed. I'm kind of shocked he's clinging onto this castle like this.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. Conquistadors are running in here too. They do get the monks. They do get the conch. The gold is under threat. Has to pull back. Even with 2 TCs, he's unable to keep up with the villager numbers at the moment. They have not been working.
Yeah, do camel archers get like a slight bonus versus rams or something? I'm actually shocked. He's keeping his castle HP's going up. Is he actually fighting off this ram rush with these tiny numbers of camel archers?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that he is right now. He's holding it as best he can for as long as he can. Where's your stone? Well,
he's got 9 on it. Yep, a second TC. You know what? Chanchanvn with the second TC is giving himself a real chance here.
Yeah, and these rams are costing quite a bit, but they are continuously going down here. The castle is doing significant damage before they arrive as well. Those downhill hits, 140 by the time it arrives. Still takes a long time for that to be dealt with, but nonetheless, holding on here is Chanchanvn, keeping the castle up here. Camel numbers, what are they at here? 7 now? You just lose 1.
I've never seen this before, man. I wouldn't have thought that camel archers could do this. Ooh, they are dying as they spawn now. I guess the backside of the castle is so congested that they can't exit that direction.
Yeah, it's not ideal. If they do go down, it is awfully rough, but I mean, if he can hold this and he continues to kill rams, continues to get villagers up behind this, he might be in a fine position, but he is under extreme threat as the conquistadors continue to roll in here and do as much damage as possible. Camel archers can only do so much against those rams.
I did just look it up. They have +2 bonus damage versus rams, which explains a lot.
Indeed it does. Some vills are on the run here to the TC in the north to see if that comes into play here moving forward, as this castle is not going down anytime soon, and FreakinAndy has wasted hundreds, if not thousands, of resources on these battering rams already. Or not even battering rams, sorry.
Chanchanvn has outplayed FreakinAndy in this regard. I'm sure FreakinAndy assumed this castle would go down to 1 siege workshop rams plus the cover fire from his castle. But alas, the castle's held. Chanchanvn has also massed camel archers. So FreakinAndy does have a 10 vil lead. But, I mean, his army is countered if the camel archers ever get out.
His army's kind of stuck, too. It's kind of unfortunate. Really should get a petard out, even just to take out this house at this point. These villagers were not working there for a little bit as well with turrets, but another TC over here for FreakinAndy, who's been outposting everything over here. Probably sees it all.
Yep, and Chanchanvn, his food eco is just abysmal, though. He can't keep the 2 TCs running. Nonetheless, produce petards. And the trappedness of his army is a disaster, as FreakinAndy now switches focus. And Chanchanvn, he was maybe able to hold his castle with the help of all those camel archers, there's no way in hell he can hold a TC with 0 military support.
Yeah, and he's going to end up having to run past the castle here, which is not really what he wants to do. And he could lose some camel archers here to this. Will kill the Vil that's repairing it.
The castle's actually focus firing his own castle, so the camel archers take no damage. As, yeah, now the counter units are out, man. These conks need to run scared.
Yep, 9 conks here versus 10 Berber camel archers. Will be a little bit more difficult to deal with this attack now, but ultimately the micro here for FreakinAndy was doing wonders, but the hill getting some hits here, really taking these numbers down. Still really close and even fight. I think FreakinAndy's still going to win it, though.
Yeah, without ballistics, the conks, I think, actually have much better damage output in that straight-up exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, the GG comes in. He ends up losing the fight at home here, fighting with Vils. Keeps his castle alive, but at great cost. And FreakinAndy will take this set 2-0, and will be advancing to the next round of the tournament. Congratulations.
Yep, the quarterfinals. Congratulations, FreakinAndy, the number 2 seed, expected to cruise through this round. Chanchanvn looked good. We're at the phase of the tournament where every single player outranks both of us considerably. So, of course, we have nothing but respect for everybody who's survived this far, no matter how the sets go.
Indeed, indeed. Statistics for those who want to see them. Nothing much to say there. FreakinAndy able to keep his eco working a little bit more consistently. Didn't spend all that time repairing a castle, and ultimately won that big fight at the end. For now, though, we will say farewell to Chanchanvn, and we'll update the bracket, move on to set number 2.